Hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of D&D Solo Nights. Can I get an oh yeah? My glasses! Ah.
Oh yeah!
Thank you, Metro Grand Sandy Ravage. Yes, this is an idea I've been cooking for a while, and now that D&D has increased in popularity, I thought, you know what? Let's give it a try and see what happens. These videos will be focused on solo D&D, meaning I will both be the Dungeon Master and the Adventurers. If you are anything like me and always had difficulty getting a group together, keeping a group together, or finding time to even get together, well, you've come to the right place. And hopefully I can help you still enjoy D&D even if it's playing solo. By using the Solo Adventurers toolbox provided in the link below, it will help shape and mold our stories in a direction you may not have originally intended. Now, you are probably thinking, but how can you both be the DM and the adventurer? Won't you know what's coming up and what's hidden? This is true, but it's also where solo adventuring can be just as interesting as normal D&D with 4 or 5 other people. You must think differently, and less about what you would do as a player and more about what your character would do in that given scenario. You as the player would know there is an assassin creeping up behind, but would your character know? If not, or you fail perception checks, etc., then you have to be true to the story and let it play out. Don't cheat and make up silly excuses why your character just knows what's happening. Okay, so my character is walking through town, and it's going to get him to shoot a fireball up into the window of the west house, I think. Yep, that hits. Oh, well, what a surprise. An assassin was there and he's dead now. Well, let's move on. Oh, look, a chest. Well, yeah, that's dead too. Turned out to be a mimic. Who knew? And be true to your dice rolls too. Don't roll an Ep1 and then be like, just gonna, oh, it's a nat 20 again. Oh wow, that's like 7 in a row now. Oh, this is just great. I love this game. There's another nat 20. Oh my god. But Blorf, why are you a puppet? Well, my answer to you is, aren't we all just puppets? Also, I like having a hand up my... So let's set some house rules that I can later forget. Rule 1. We will be using grid-based combat, as I love having more visuals to my games, and it's nice having a character token to move around and strategize with. Rule 2. As it's grid-based, moving diagonally will count as 10 feet, or 2 squares. The player's handbook states moving diagonally is considered 5 feet, or 1 square, much like every other direction. But the Dungeon Master's book has an optional rule stating the first diagonal movement is treated as 5 feet, the second is 10 feet, the third is 5 feet again, fourth 10 feet again, and so on and so forth. But that doesn't feel right to me. The fluctuation is weird. So, I will be making every diagonal 10 feet, as you are essentially moving 2 squares every time. Rule 3. A roll of a 1 is still a critical fail on a d20 die, but a roll of a 20 is a success no matter the target number you need. That doesn't mean that you will always achieve what you want, especially if it's an impossible task anyway. For example, I wish to walk through a wall using nothing magical, just straight up walk through a wall. I roll strength and get a natural 20. As a DM, I will then decide either the wall is weak anyway and you just juggernaut the wall to oblivion, or you give it a very impressive try that people for a moment think it's actually going to work, but all you succeeded in doing is giving it a nice loving hug. Aww. Rule 4. On the topic of critical fails and nat 20s, Let's throw caution to the wall and get crazy up in here. Every critical fail or nat 20 we get, we will roll a separate 1d20 die and apply an added forfeit or bonus to the outcome. For example, it could cause you to leak mana, losing a spell slot or two, or you could be rejuvenated and regain spell slots. Another example, well, you know how everyone gets nervous when you give the player a magical item known as the Deck of Many Things? Well, imagine a world where the powers of the Deck of Many Things was not simply contained within a deck of cards, but in the world itself, where every task runs the risk of life and death. That's right, baby! All critical 1 rolls and all nat 20 rolls have a chance of evoking the powers from the world of many things! For critical fails, we will use only the bad cards from the deck, and nat 20s will only use the good cards. I've amplified some of the cards' effects, and I've thrown in some cards of my own, too. The casters have fallen again! Well, I think that's about everything. Any questions or comments you wish to share, by all means, pop them in the comments below. Down there. Somewhere. Now, let's get this party started, shall we? Okay, Dungeon Master voice. Dungeon Master. I am the Dungeon Master. My name is Blorf. Future Blorf here. I forgot Rule 5, probably one of the most important rules in our games. The Oracle. To help answer any questions we have, we shall consult the Oracle, a crystal ball once owned by the Caldorash family. That's what it is. The Caldorash family in 1462. Now here amongst the lost. That's it. Bring it up. Bring it up. A little bit more. There we go. Nope, stop there. Stop. There we go. It is said, if you ask it a yes or no question, it shall give you the answer. Bring it back up. That's right. A little bit that way. Yep. Okay. It is said, if you ask it a yes or no question, it shall give you the answer you seek. Oracle, will I ever get out of here? What's that? About a 3? No, it's this. No. Now, what story shall we do first, Well, let's keep it short for now. We could do this one another day. Yes, that one, yes. A classic tale, originally released in 1992 by Bruce Nesmith for 2nd edition D&D, which I have since adapted to the 5th edition rules. It's a story he calls The Created. The story takes place one fateful night in the quaint little town of Odier. The scene opens on a street bustling with life. Men and women have gathered together and are helping one another decorate the town with colourful ribbons and lights across buildings, windows and doorways. Children's drawings are displayed across notice boards, wooden fencing, even on storage crates in the town square where others have hastily set up small market stalls. Everyone in town is excited and happy. All but one. The scene pans across town and through the upstairs window of a particular toy shop. Sitting alone by his desk,
A tired man in his late 50s isolates himself from the rest of the town. There is a knock on the front door downstairs. He ignores it.
Giuseppe?
A voice cries out.
Come on, Giuseppe. Come and join us.
He moves to answer, but hesitates.
Do you think he's okay? He'll be okay. He just needs some time alone. It's the anniversary.
Giuseppe gently sits back down with a sigh and a heavy heart. Upon his desk rests a small glass of whiskey, several carpentry tools, small bits of carved wood, and a photo frame depicting a young man and woman in their early 20s holding hands with love-struck smiles. The whiskey glass clunks to the table as he swigs his drink and continues cutting and shaping bits of wood.
Do you think he'll still perform at the festival? I don't know. Come on, little one. Let's go get that decoration you wanted for your room.
The voices begin to fade as they get further away.
You mean it? I want to get the one with the lion, and he's like, "Rah!" Yeah, I know. You keep going on about it.
The sky darkens as time passes. Every light is out as the town begins to sleep, apart from Giuseppe. His fireplace dwindling, but giving enough light to cast his shadow across the walls. We see his shadow place something down on his desk with a metallic clunk. Another shadow is seen, one of a child sitting slouched on a table. You are my pride and joy, my little figlio. The child's head slowly looks at Giuseppe.
Father.
Giuseppe hesitates. Figlio? The scene fades to black as we cut 1 week ahead from now, a few miles out of town, to a robed figure in a forest, running for his life. Let the chase scene commence. 10, 15, 25, 35, 40, 45, 55, 60, 10, 15, 25, 30, as the mysterious man approaches the T-junction within the forest. He struggles to decide quickly which direction to head in. He must now make a perception check to see if he can see the giant spider down below. The DC for this check will be 12 or more. With a 22, he succeeds. Looking drastically in both directions, it's difficult to make out, as the spider is very well camouflaged. However, it is very big, and with a large web stringing across the trees in the brush below. He decides against going down and disturbing it, and decides instead to continue in a northeasterly direction. 40, 50, 60. We must now ask the Oracle our first question. Oracle, will the beast chase us on our next turn? No. We are currently safe for now. The mysterious man runs through the forest in a blind panic. head darting in different directions as he hears strange noises around him, feeling the presence of something, someone. Whatever it is, he does not wish to hang about. 10, 20. Standing in this cross-section, we must now check to see if the character can see the spiders around him. Another perception check is needed. The DC will be the same, 12 or more. A 23 is a success. Running through to this cross-section, he sees not only a spider nesting in the corner down below, leading to a dead end filled with the bones of its victims, but also a younger spider in a northwesterly direction. My brain almost died then, trying to think of compass directions. Instead, he decides to continue in a northeasterly direction through a bunch of collapsed trees. This will be treated as difficult terrain as he heads through this passageway. 30. Now, difficult terrain basically treats the square as a double, so rather one square being 5 feet, it will be 10 feet. So if diagonals are 10 feet, they are therefore 20 feet. 40, 50. Can no longer move as I have run out of space, and I have to move diagonally. Oracle. Will the beast chase us on our next turn? No, we are still safe. Scrambling through the debris of destroyed trees and rotten wood, his robe catching on bits of twigs and wood. He struggles and pulls at his clothing. His robes begin to tear, but he manages to break himself free. 10, 15. Squeezing through the brush of thick forest, he ends up running straight into a cobweb. 15, 25, 30. As the mysterious man runs through into the cobwebs, the spider believes it has found its catch and goes to grapple the mysterious man and wrap him up in web. They will make a contested strength check to see if he can break free from the spider's clutches. The giant spider rolls a 12 on strength. Can the mysterious man beat a 12? He can indeed. As the spider begins to try and grapple and wrap itself around the mysterious man, he begins to flail in a panic, knocking the spider free away from him and breaking the webs that try to hold him in place. I believe that was 35. I can't quite remember now. 10, 20. No, that was 30. 5,
35, 40, 45. I believe that was 45. I've forgotten already. We will now add the spider to the board. Oh my god, it's gigantic. Is it really that big? It is large. But that's crazy large. Why is it that large? What's medium then? That seems larger than large. Oh no, apparently that's fine. You're gonna be that big. That big is fine. You don't need to be gigantic. We'll add the spider to the list. The chase complication will take effect on its next turn. Using his last movement step, it will require his remaining movement to dive into the water. Without hesitation or thought, the mysterious man seems rather comfortable with diving into swampy, murky water. The giant spider is now taking effect from the complication table. Uneven ground threatens to slow your progress, which, for a giant spider, I would have thought wouldn't be too much of a problem. But with the mysterious man breaking free from the web and whacking him in the face, it left him a little concussed. So the spider must now make an acrobatics check. I'm gonna need a character sheet. Handy. A 10. The DC is 10. It just succeeds. It is able to check and navigate the area. Moving. It can move 30 feet and climb 30 feet. It will move 5, 10, 15. And attempt to attack the mysterious man. This will be a disadvantage, though, as the mysterious man has dived into the water. I will try to bite him as he dives in. With a 17. That does hit the mysterious man. He wasn't quick enough to escape the spider's poisonous bite. I believe it's poisonous, right? Is it a poisonous spider? I'm opening the wrong table. As piercing damage, the target must make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw, taking poison damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Let us roll the damage. First, he takes 14 damage. Nearly dropping him halfway. He's almost bloodied already. Ooh, that was a nasty bite that he got. Right on the back of his leg as he dived into the water. Must now make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw. Oh, that scared me for a moment. With a 21, he succeeds and is not poisoned, but he does take half the damage from it. Nice. Half of 5. I can live with that. Apply half damage. From 35, he has dropped to 19. With a gargled scream under the water in
of pain. He immediately begins to swim ahead to the island just on the other side. Oracle. For our third and final time, will the beast begin chase? The beast does indeed begin its chase. As it was the giant spider's turn, we must now roll for a wilderness chase complication. This will affect the beast. A stream, ravine, or rock bed blocks your path. The beast must make a DC 10 athletics or acrobatics check to cross the impediment. I believe the beast will not have any problems at all. What am I doing? I need to go here. That's the spider. That's the beast. We will put the beast on the board. Athletics or acrobatics. This is a CR 25 creature that is chasing our mysterious man. Athletics check, +3, 13. Acrobatics check, +5, 15. The beast will take acrobatics, needing to get higher than 10. Oh! With the first critical fail, the beast cannot get past the blocked path. It comes onto the board, but the path is blocked by fallen trees and rocks, and finds difficulty trying to squeeze through the gaps, even though this beast is pretty much made of shadow. It still finds it very difficult. And with our first critical failure, we will roll the critical fail forfeit table. Whatever this lands on will affect the beast. Summon monster. Okay, I can work with this. This makes sense. Alright, so now we must roll a d20 to see what challenge rating monster it will summon. The chaos has begun. Challenge rating of 9. Okay, give me a moment while I look for something. The large entity gets stuck amongst the trees and fallen rocks. A piece of itself climbs out from within, separating itself from the beast's body. A shadow horror appears on the other side of the debris and begins to give chase. It has been added to the initiative order. Another complication is rolled, after the beast's turn has now abruptly ended. The shadow horror faces no complications as it begins to give chase, without any thought or reason. It moves through the trees themselves. The shadow horror moves a total of 40 feet, and with dashing, that will be 80 feet. Moving through the trees, I will rule that it is difficult terrain.
Although it is a shadow creature, the beast did seem to have trouble with logs and rocks. So I will apply the same difficulties to the shadow horror. 5. That'll be treated as 20, so 25. I was about to say 40, but that was too much. So 25. 45. 55. Nope. It'll be 65. It's doubled. 70. 80. There are no complications for our mysterious man. The mysterious man swims through the swampy, murky waters as if it was not difficult at all. It seems he has done this before. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 55, 60. Paying no heed to the corpses around him, the collapsed bridge, and a destroyed wagon. He continues to sprint across the map. With a strong will and determination, he pushes himself even further. He must now make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. Oh no! With our second critical failure already in the game. For heaven's sake. He takes a point of exhaustion. With that extra push and the dash moving forward, I am also going to state that he falls over prone, tripping over onto the ground as he tries to sprint, the ground sodden, wet, and slippery. That's visibility. He falls over square onto his face. And now, we must again already roll on a critical fail forfeit. I was not expecting to roll this many already. Butterfingers. As he falls to the ground, he will drop his weapon 1d4 spaces away from him. Okay, it could have been worse. It falls one space, and now I must roll a d8 to see in which direction it flies. The weapon falls directly next to him in a northern direction. Had he had dropped the item further away or even behind him, he would have discarded the item and left it where it was. However, as it's right next to him, I believe that this mysterious man would not hesitate to pick it back up again. I can't believe this has happened already. Complications for the giant spider. There is no complication for the spider. The spider, seeing its prey dive into the water and climb out on the other side. We must now decide if the spider will continue to give chase or return to its home.
but there's a possibility it only attacked in self-defense. Oracle. Will the giant spider continue to chase the mysterious man? Yes, and the spider will continue to chase the mysterious man, and it will never give up until it has caught its prey? Question mark. Yes, the Oracle has spoken. With that in mind, the spider, wanting to stay out of the water, 10, 15, will jump across to the wooden planks floating in the river. At 25, 30. I will, however, get the spider to make an acrobatics check. DC 10 or more. It fails! The giant spider jumping towards the wooden plank, not realizing how brittle it is. Its heavy weight and heavy body slamming into the wood causes it to break and float down the river, the spider splashing into the water. Will begin to panic and try to find and maneuver its way out. I will now roll a d8 to see in which direction it moves in. 7. It will head in a westerly direction. Its turn takes it right back where it started. And this panel is now gone. There is a complication for... I keep going to the wrong one. There is a complication for the beast. A stream, ravine, or rock bed blocks... It's the same thing. Basically, you make the same check, see if you can get past this bundle of rocks and wood. Okay, beastie. Athletics or acrobatics? We did acrobatics before. It needs to beat a DC 10... No, it's strength. Yes, acrobatics. The strength threw me for a moment. A DC 10 acrobatics check. With a 20. So, for those who don't know D&D, and Foundry as well, there are extra bonuses on the dice roll. As you saw, we rolled a 15. They're also gaining a +5 and a +0. The +5 being the dexterity modifier that is added on to the acrobatics check. Hence why it's now 20. For those of you that may be a little bit confused as to what's going on. Foundry automatically does all the calculations, so I don't need to worry about math too much. I still kind of do, but not too much. Anyway. 60 feet, so it's moving 120 feet. It pushes itself through the wood and rock, its misty, shadowy body phasing through. 10. We're gonna still treat this as difficult terrain for him, as he will also follow through the trees. 10, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. As the beast begins to move past the spider's nest, Oracle, will the giant spider attack the beast? No. With that, I would say that the spider instead panics, feeling the aura of evil and the dread emanating from this entity. The spider very quickly scurries out of its web and into the trees. I believe that was 70. I need to start writing it down in this little text box as a reminder to myself. 70, 80, 90, 110. It cannot move. It's extra 10. Complications. There are no more complications. I keep going to the wrong one. There are no more complications for the Shadow Horror. Shadow Horror moves 40, so 80 in total. 2, 4, 6, 8. As it phased between the trees. There are no complications for the mysterious man, as it is now his turn. He will pick himself up off the floor and pick his weapon up. Half his movement is now gone. He can now only move 30 feet. No, he can't. I tell a lie. He used his action to pick up the weapon, so therefore he cannot dash, which means he actually can only move 15 feet.
I will flip a coin.
Heads, he will go south. Tails, he will go north. It is tails. Okay, the mysterious man will head north. 10. Unfortunately, that's all he can do. Can't move sideways or up, as there are trees in the way. Alright. There is a complication for the giant spider. We've already established that the giant spider will not give up hunting its prey. However, the spider must now make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, you are blinded by blowing sand, dirt, ash, snow, or pollen until the end of the turn. It will most likely be dirt and sand. Coming out of the murky water be probably sludge and slime too, that's covering its eyes. It will need his little feelers to try and clean it off. Constitution saving throw with a DC of 10. A nat 20. The extra bonuses from nat 20s do not apply to creatures. These will only apply to characters. I will only allow the critical fails to happen, just to make things more interesting for everything. With a nat 20, it flicks off with its front legs the slime and dirt away from its eyes, whilst also giving chase. This spider is so confident in finding its prey, it believes it can do it blindfolded. 5, 10 as it climbs up the tree. $15 as it climbs up the tree even further, bringing it about here at this point. $20. It will now try to jump to the other side. What is its full movement allowance? 30. It can land here partially on the wooden plank. If it tries to jump. Acrobatics check. With its nat 20, I'd say it gains advantage to this roll. It needs a 12 or more. Another nat 20. The giant spider dives from the trees, doing a somersault, landing onto the wooden planks and holding its front paws out like a gymnast. It makes a perfect landing. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Seeing its prey in sight, little feelers, its fangs begin to ooze venom and its feelers are flicking around, thirsty for its prey. There is a complication for the beast again. A sudden drop catches you by surprise. Make a DC Dex saving throw to navigate the impediment. I will give the beast advantage, as it is a shadowy creature that a pit should not really affect it, but hey, it got affected by logs and rocks, so as he's moving through the forest trees and the thick thicket, it doesn't notice a small rabbit hole. And it must make a dexterity 10 saving throw. With advantage. A 19! Wow, even with rolling a 6, its bonuses make it jump up to 9. Oh, wait, that was right? 19. Yes, with its bonuses, it flies up to 19. Wow. So I think it needs a critical fail in order to fail. With no surprises here, the shadowed beast floats over the small rabbit hole. 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, he moved about 40 feet. Oracle. Does this next spider, seeing the entity that comes its way, does it panic and hurry? And does it panic and run away? It sure does. No surprise there. As the entity fades out of the trees, its shadowy figure forming like a dark cloud. The spider, sensing death and dread come its way, it immediately scurries off into the forest. So that was 40. 50. 60. Wait, it's double. It's double. Let's go back. It's double. I've been doing it wrong. Hang on. Let's go all the way back. Come on. Go back. Why would you go back further? Is it because of the dice roll? It is because of the dice roll. I believe it was here. We will go from here. Okay. It's double. He's going through a forest, difficult terrain. It's double. 2. No, you were about here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12. That's how far you'll get. Getting a little bit close now. Too close, I believe. Our man needs to really move. Next complication check. There is one. A sudden drop again. And this applies to the Shadow Horror. The Shadow Horror, phasing out of the forest, floats over the spider's little domain. It must make a DC 10 Dex saving throw, or fall into the spider's hole. With a 17, it succeeds at floating over the spider's hole. 10, 20, 40, 60, 70, as it wasn't diagonally, 80. Next complication. There is a complication for the mysterious man. As a sense of dread begins to build around the man, he begins to hear scared and panicked animals from within the forest. Deer come stampeding through the trees across his path. He must now make a DC 10 Dex saving throw. Oh no! He got a 4. This chase is not going very well. This was meant to be a dramatic start to the campaign. You're not supposed to die yet. Okay, what happens? On a failed save, you are knocked about, and you take 1d4 bludgeoning damage, and 1d4 piercing damage. Okay, wonderful. Oh dear. Wait, what are the 2 rolls? 3 and a 2. Okay. You don't have resistances to either of those damages, do you? No. So I can just take it as is. Apply damage. As the deers come barging through past him, bustling and jostling him around. He sees the spider looming from behind. I'm also going to make him do a perception check. This is at a DC 18 to see if he can see the looming shadows closing near him. On a 7, it's not enough. He's rolling very low right now. The poison that didn't really take hold, it does seem to be affecting him a little bit, and he's a bit concussed from the deers barging past of him. Okay. 10, 20, 30, no, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's now at a T-junction. Do another perception check. We're at 30. $15. I didn't say what the DC was, but it would have been 10 or 12 anyway, as it's just to see if he sees the campsite near him. Running through the trees, he does see, with the 15 on perception, he does see a raiders camp close by. Seeing a lot of people there minding their own business, but looking like folk he does not want to commune with. He ignores them and continues on his way. 30. You're moving 60, yes. 35. 45. 50. 60. He is going to take a dash action. As in an extra action, which means he must now do... We all know how well this went before. A DC 10 Constitution saving throw. Oh my god. He failed, gaining another point of exhaustion. Let's take a quick reference, a little reminder. Let's take a quick look at the exhaustion effects as a reminder. So with 1 point of exhaustion, he should have been on disadvantage for ability checks. Good to know. He was failing them anyway. And now his speed is halved. Great. Just great. Just wonderful. It's not like we want to live or anything. His speed is now halved. Does he...
That's all we have time for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you enjoy it? Would you like these videos to be shorter than an hour? Maybe longer? Can you guess what race the mysterious man is? Please also show your support by giving the video a like and sharing it amongst your friends. I've had a lot of fun playing and recording this, and I'm eager to hear what you think. You have been watching Solo Nights. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I mean, look at you. You can't exactly do anything, can you? Oh, my arm. Ah! Please excuse my wandering eyes. It's very difficult to keep them straight, you see. So, because I have to do this here. And this is how I'm talking. This is my eyes. So, it's very difficult to keep this thing. Holy smokes! I just had an out-of-body experience. The Taraka deck. I meant to go the other way.
The scene fades to black as we cut... black. The scene fades to black. Black. We're now rolling initiative for our chase scene. Now that I've got everything sorted. Why does it move the camera? I'm trying to hide this guy. Oh well. It's behind the scenes, it's fine. This won't be in the actual final edit.
2? Giving me a 4? Really?